picture this. You're at school, or you're at work, or you're at a party, and you meet this guy. Oh, he's good looking, you guys get along, you have so many things in common, you're talking, you're laughing, you can tell he likes you, you're flirting a bit, you like him too, and suddenly in the conversation it suddenly comes up and he's like, I have a girlfriend, and you're like, what am I supposed to do now? I really like him, I want to be with him. So what do? So at some point, probably in your life, you've liked a guy who had a girlfriend. You know, we can't help who we like. And if you suddenly meet a guy and he's totally great and he just happens to not be single, you know, it's not really your fault, is it? You know, you can't really do anything about that. So of course, there are going to be situations in your life where you meet somebody and you find out they have a girlfriend, you know, they're not single and you still like that person. And, you know, you feel like you still want to pursue something, you know, you want to flirt with them. Oh, what's the harm in flirting? It's just a bit of harmless flirting. It doesn't really do anything. Oh, okay, so a few kisses here and there. Oh, okay, let's go all the way, you know. And basically, it's never good to go after somebody who has a girlfriend. And here I'm going to talk about exactly why. So there are 3 levels to cheating, I would say, and behavior you have with a guy who has a girlfriend, you know, that could hurt that guy's girlfriend's feelings, you know, and that can end up hurting you as well. So level number 1 that I'm going to be talking about is flirting. So you may say, okay, if I just flirt with the guy, you know, I know he has a girlfriend, I'm going to respect that, I'm not going to take that any further, but I like him, we just flirt a bit, you know, we see each other all the time at school or at work or whatever, and I just kind of want to flirt with him a little bit. What's the harm in that? Well, in the first place, it does hurt the other person's feelings, okay? So if you were the girlfriend, put yourself into the mind of the girlfriend. Imagine he was your boyfriend, or that you just had a boyfriend in general, and you suddenly found out, or you knew that your boyfriend was out there flirting with some other girl. Even if it didn't go any further, yeah, it would still bug you, wouldn't it? It would still hurt your feelings. So don't think that it's just harmless and that it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings, okay? The other problem with flirting is that if it's just flirting, that's fine. But often flirting can lead to something else. So if you already stood off at the level of flirting with the guy, you know, it's very easy to go from flirting to suddenly a kiss, to suddenly many kisses, to suddenly having sex. You know, it's like it all escalates. That's why it's different levels, and this is level 1. So the danger of flirting is that it leads to something. It can lead somewhere else. So you might think it's just flirting, but it can very often lead to somewhere else, you know? Thirdly, I wanted to say that, of course, I am not of the opinion that it's your responsibility if this guy cheats or not on his girlfriend. You can, like, not do anything at all, and if he's a cheater, he's going to find another way to cheat on his girlfriend, but it's better if it's not you, you know? I don't think it's your fault. Like, I'm not in favor of, like, if a girl finds out she's getting cheated on, for her to attack the other woman. Even if you are aware that he has a girlfriend and, you know her, it's always the guy's fault because he's the one who made a commitment to her. He's the one who's in a relationship to her, who promised her, hey, I'm going to be faithful to you. I only want to be you. So it's not your responsibility. I still think it's not nice. I still think it's mean. I still think it's bad karma. If you're with a guy and you know tacitly that he has a girlfriend, it's still a bad thing you're doing. It's not your fault in the same way that it's his fault, but it's still better to not become involved in that because it's just bad karma and it's not a nice thing to be doing to another woman. And lastly, it can also hurt your own feelings, but I'll get to that in a bit of the higher levels. So that's it. That's on level 1, which is flirting, which is why I think it's not a good idea because it can lead somewhere else because it can still hurt the girlfriend's feelings. It's not just totally innocent like you might think. And because, yeah. So moving on to level 2. Level 2 is engaging in like sexual things, but without actually having sex. So it can be just hooking up, just kissing him, you know, all of that kind of stuff without actually going all the way, okay? So in level 2, you're basically kissing him and stuff like that, and you're hoping, or he's saying to you that he'll eventually break up with his girlfriend, and you have all your hopes in that, you know? So the problem with this is that you may think it's not that bad because you're not going all the way, you're like waiting for him to leave his girlfriend till you go all the way, you're kind of like holding that against him, you know? But at the end of the day, he's still cheating on his girlfriend with you. He's still kissing you. Imagine if you had a boyfriend and he was kissing somebody else, you'd go crazy. You wouldn't care that it's not like technically sex. It's still like an emotional affair. He's still cheating on you. Kissing is super personal. You would feel disgusted, totally hurt. And so this is a huge, you know, like thing not to do. The other thing is that if you're at this level, you're already getting your feelings involved. While at level 1 with flirting, it might really just be a casual, fun thing, and you don't. If it doesn't go anywhere else, I don't recommend it, but at least it's not like that fur. You're probably not having your feelings involved, but in this level, you're having your feelings involved, and so you're hurting yourself. Because all those times that he says he's going to leave his girlfriend, but he doesn't, he makes promises, he doesn't, do, well, you're all the time going to be having more and more feelings invested in him, and you're really going to want him to leave his girlfriend. And the fact that you're the other woman and he's not with you really, and you can't be with him fully, is just going to hurt your feelings more and more. And so that's why I think this level is so dangerous and why you shouldn't do it. Not only are you helping him cheat on another woman, which is terrible, but you're getting your own feelings involved. You're wanting to be with him. And if he ultimately doesn't leave his girlfriend, and if he makes promises he will, but doesn't, you end up going to be really broken hearted. And that's just not a good situation to be in. Finally, level 3 is sex. You're doing everything with this guy. You're totally his lover. You're his mistress. You're the woman on the side, all of that. And so you're basically just letting him do whatever he wants with you. You're engaging in it, and you're probably hoping that doing all of this, he'll eventually leave his girlfriend, So there are like 2 options, scenarios, cases that can happen in this situation, and that I'm going to talk a little bit about. So in the first place, you're the other woman, and that is your role forever. So this is the typical guy that cheats on his girlfriend, or that likes you but likes his girlfriend more, even though he's a total cheater and a jerk, so you don't want him anyway, trust me. But he's the typical guy who's just never going to leave his girlfriend. He's always going to want to have something on the side, either you or somebody else if you go away. But even if he makes promises, he's never going to leave your girlfriend. And so after months of just being with him and hoping and seeing that nothing's going to happen, you'll either break up or you'll continue in this terrible situation. But you'll realize that he's not going to leave his girlfriend. And what's that going to leave you? Brokenhearted, feeling used, feeling stupid. You got your feelings involved. You fell in love with him. Probably, obviously, all those months and just having sex and everything. And at the end of the day, you'll never get him. The other case scenario, which I think is even worse, because if you don't get him, at least you can move on. You can say, I'm never going to do that again. It was a mistake. But the other case scenario is that he does break up with his girlfriend and goes out with you. Okay, what's going to happen here is either 2 options. Either he never cheats, but you always suspect he will. Maybe he doesn't cheat on you, but every single night he's late. Every single time he goes out with friends, you're always going to be suspicious. Your life is going to be hell because you're going to know he cheated on his girlfriend with you. So what's to say that he won't cheat on you with another girl? And the second case scenario is that he does cheat on you. And this is like what happens 95% of the time. Like, yeah, there might be a small case where he cheated on his girlfriend with you because he really liked you and he doesn't cheat on you, but you're always going to be suspicious. So it's always awful anyway. But most of the time what does happen is that if he cheated on his girlfriend with you, he's going to cheat on you with somebody else. He's a cheater. He's the guy who likes having an official girlfriend and then something on the side. He might even leave you for the girl he cheats on you with next. And even if he doesn't leave you, then you're with a cheater, which is also terrible. So getting the guy when you know the guy is a cheater is always a terrible thing because either you're always suspicious or 9 times out of 10, 95% of the time, he is going to cheat on you and he's going to make your life a hell. And it's like karma. You're going to get back what you did to the other girlfriend, And it's like that famous saying, which is a saying for a reason. The way you get him is the way you lose him. And so if you're with a cheater, ultimately he's going to cheat on you too, and you're going to feel terrible. So if your goal is to be with this guy, to help him cheat on his girlfriend and hope that one day he's going to be with you, red flag, it's going to go terrible. So please just don't do this, okay? The last little thing I wanted to talk about was in the case of if you like a guy and he has a girlfriend, the only way that it can work out if you're together in the future. So imagine you like this guy and he has a girlfriend and you can tell he likes you back. 2 things could potentially happen. Of course, once you like a guy, if you know he has a girlfriend, the right thing to do and what you should do, honestly, is move on. Say, look, he has a girlfriend, I like him, but I'm putting this aside and I'm focusing on me, focusing on meeting other guys. Yeah. So while you're in that journey of focusing on you, what could happen is if he suddenly breaks up with his girlfriend for mysterious reasons, for just his own reasons, they weren't working out, and then he's suddenly like, look, I always kind of liked you, would you go on a date with me? That can totally work out, because look, he broke up with his girlfriend for other reasons, or he just fizzled out, and now that he's single, you guys can totally, you can flirt with him once he's single, or he can seek you out, and that can totally work out. Another thing that could happen is if you really like each other, and he has a girlfriend, before he cheats, before he kisses you and has sex with you and even flirts with you, if he realizes that he really likes you more than his girlfriend, he can always break up with his girlfriend for you and then pursue you legitimately. Be like, look, I broke up with my girlfriend because I realized I really like you and I didn't want to do anything with you while I was still with her because I'm a good guy. And now that I'm single, let's be together. that's totally fine. Of course, it's difficult for this to happen because if nothing more happens with you, like kissing or anything, he probably isn't going to have such strong feelings that he's going to break up with his girlfriend for you. But if the relationship was already on the rocks and he suddenly likes you, it could totally happen. And this is a good way to also commence a relationship. So in both these cases, you know, the guy had a girlfriend, but they suddenly broke up for one reason or another. And if once they're broken up, he wants to go out with you, that's totally fine. You know, what's not good is to engage in a relationship with him while he's still in a relationship. That's when I think that those situations never work out. But if he breaks up with his girlfriend and then pursues you, I do think in that case, it can totally work out. So that's a bit of good news there at the end. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it shone some light on why it's not good to pursue a guy with a girlfriend, why it's not good to help a guy cheat, and why ultimately if you get the guy, it's never going to work out because he's going to cheat on you or you're always going to be suspicious that he is, and it's just not a good situation. So please just date single guys. You know, there's so many single guys out there that are great. You know, and it's just, you know, it's never good to go after a guy that's taken, you know. If down the line he's suddenly single and wants to pursue you, that's fine. But just focus on yourself, focus on guys that are single, and don't get hooked on a guy who has a girlfriend because nothing good can come out of that, okay? So yeah, guys, I hope you like this video. Please, please, please comment, like, and subscribe because I do many videos on these kind of topics, you know. And so I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time in a video very soon. Please, 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 again, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.